Welcome to Pop Culture Spread, our fun weekly movie and news show. Jace, what is in the big news? Mate, what is going on here, mate? In Marvel, X-Men 97 creator suddenly fired a week before release date. What is going on, mate? Are we seeing troubles here at Marvel already?
Well, Rick, this is a fascinating story. So the person they're talking about was the head writer, Bo DeMayo. Now, Bo DeMayo has been around a while in Disney, mate. He's just not writing this. He worked on things like Moon Knight, and I think he worked on Hawkeye. He's been well known in the Disney studios for a while.
Okay, so he's an established person.
Yep. He's an established guy. So it is really weird because the early buzz that had just come out for this, Rick, was X-Men 97 is really good.
Yeah.
That's the word that's coming out. It's fantastic. People are going to love it. I know I'm excited to see it. Yeah. And, so it was really bizarre. Yeah, just out of the blue, the head guy's gone. And do you know what, Rick? He had already written season 2. That's done. He's written season 2. So Disney had enough faith in him to bring him on to season 2. He was just starting to develop ideas for season 3. Right. And then they let him go. So I think it's bugged out everyone. But there's been some rumors out there, and obviously it's a rumor, so it's not fact. But this one seems to have a lot of heat behind it, Rick.
Right.
And that and is Bo is not without controversy. This man, and what he has in his personal life apparently is an OnlyFans account.
Right.
So this head director actually has his own OnlyFans. Now, Rick, OnlyFans is not illegal. It's not illegal. It's not a crime to be on OnlyFans. All right. So the rumors is they've let him go because of what he's doing on his OnlyFans. Now,
wow.
There could be a case for him to challenge if they let him go based upon that. But then again, I understand Disney's perspective. You once had a high moral standard in your studio and no one had an issue with it. We all knew it was family entertainment. You know, I mean, these days, if you say something against another community group or a different race, you can lose your job instantly. So why not being on OnlyFans is the same thing?
So my question is has he come out before and said, you know, did they knew that he had this account, his OnlyFans account?
That's you know all the big question, because it's a rumor. That's all I've heard. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case at all, but it kind of fits in the narrative that they're currently spewing out, because their narrative is they're saying nothing, which means it's pretty serious. It's not creative. Look, the standard line is creative differences.
Yeah.
That's the standard line to get rid of people out of their roles in certain, you know, whatever they're doing in Hollywood. So this is really bizarre. And if it does come out of its OnlyFans, what kind of can of worms does this open across the industry? Like, okay, put it this way. Would you be comfortable taking your child to a daycare where the girl there you knew had an OnlyFans?
Oh, no. No.
All right, would you be comfortable with that? No.
No.
But she could argue, hey, man, that's your moral hang-ups. I do in my own private times, my own business.
Right.
And I agree with that. But it doesn't mean you're protected against consequences. And the consequences is someone like you I would not take a child to someone I know who did OnlyFans, you know. And maybe that's my moral hang-up, but it's my choice.
Then you're looking at it going, what, doesn't he get paid enough money to do his job that he's doing with Marvel? He needs extra income. You know, you look at all these other questions.
It's probably not for money, dude. It's probably all up here. He's narcissist. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe he's got emotional issues. I don't know. Maybe he just thinks it's a hoot. I have no idea. But it is really odd. And the timing of it, though, Rick. Yeah. 1 week before it's to air.
To fire someone suddenly, they'd have to do something pretty bad for Mum.
That's right. And it also indicates something that had to be done then, didn't it? Because if it wasn't going to be that bad, they could have buried that for a few weeks.
But they haven't released a statement
or
yet.
They could have done it earlier. So they've come to the decision. It's like, no, he's got to go, and he's got to go now.
Wow.
So, ooh, intrigue in the House of Mouse, my friend.
Oh, all right. Well, got all Marvel. I'm sure we'll hear a statement and find out a bit more about it, but we'll follow this story a bit more.
Yep.
Jace, let's get into some other news. Mate, Sunday just gone was the Oscars. Monday here in Australia. It was a holiday for us here in Australia. I had the privilege of watching the Oscars, which was great. And we've got a full list of the winners, and we'll go through it. And,
well, actually, before we discuss the winners, Rick, I haven't asked you this. What did you think of the show?
Now, I haven't watched the show in a very long time.
I watch it every year.
Had an opportunity and went, you know what? Let's sit down and watch it. And I really enjoyed it. There were some great bits for it. I think Kimmel did a great job hosting. Like I said, I had some favorite bits, the Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, the John Cena bit was funny.
John Cena was funny.
Yeah,
it was controversial. It was a good show.
It was actually one of the best ones they've done in years, in my opinion. It was, and I tell you what I really loved, even just the silly way they finished at the end with Al Pacino kind of I see Oppenheimer. But I love the fact for all the major awards, they had previous 5 award winners come up on stage to present it. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was so definitely the show overall was a big thumbs up. It was one of the better ones they'd done in a while. But let's go through the list here, Rick. I thought we would just get your opinion.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just have a look at this. 10 nominees for Best Picture, all right? I think I've seen 1, 2, 3 of those movies. I've seen Barbie. I saw Oppenheimer. I've seen Poor Things. I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon yet, all the rest of them. And I do want to see them, but I haven't seen them. So Oppenheimer winning for me was, the right choice, because I'd seen that film and I thought it was a masterpiece. Yeah. It was no real surprise, though, was it, Rick? Oppenheimer winning?
There was a lot of talk. How many nominations? 13, 14, whatever it was. It just dominated.
I think it's well deserved. Like I said, I haven't seen the rest, so it's hard for me to comment, but I did love an Oppenheimer, so I thought that was great. Best directing goes to our boy from Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. It was a masterclass in directing. In all his films, even the ones you may not like, he's a class act, is he not? Deserves it.
Definitely so.
The one I was super happy for some of the winners on the night, Rick, but this one I was super happy for. Cillian Murphy winning for Best Actor. Who would ever thought that guy would win a Best Actor Oscar? Like, he's always been kind of like the side actor, a supporting actor, even though he had starring roles in the 28 Days. But he used to make zombie movies.
Look at him now.
And here he is. He won an Oscar
winner. And
it was his first lead role in a big film, and it was wonderful to see him win.
Paul Giamatti was up there. Wow, okay.
Paul Giamatti, Bradley Cooper was another one. Coleman Domingo.
Right. So he was up against
Jeffrey Wright. Oh, talent.
Talent.
Yeah,
man.
Without question. Let's move on to the leading actress. Emma Stone wins for Poor Things. I've seen the movie. I watched the movie actually after she won the Oscar. I watched it that day. It is a wonderful movie. It's beautifully done, and she bears it all a lot in this movie.
Wow.
Not just in nudity, but emotion-wise. She is very unleashed in it, and it's bizarre. It's like I said, kind of like a R-rated Edward Scissorhands in a way.
So is this the one that was supposed to have Barbie in it? Like, is she like Margot Robbie was supposed to be part of? There was that. Remember how
Oh no, I don't remember hearing that, but maybe. But she was. But did you notice that Margot Robbie did not get nominated for an Oscar?
No, that's what I mean. There's nothing in.
And that she was up against Annette Bening, Emma Stone, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Who's apparently amazing. Sandra Hüller for Anatomy in a Fall, and Kerry Mulligan So again, a lot of talent and well deserved. Let's get into the best supporting actor and actress, and I think we'll leave it there. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. And when he wins the award, remember he goes up and he literally does Tony Stark, puts his fingers up like, look at me, which was amazing and well deserved. What a Hollywood story his life is.
Oh yeah.
Raised in a house of independent filmmakers where he was able to do what he wants, becomes a massive teen young adult star, gets addicted to drugs and sent to jail multiple times.
Yep.
And comes back, heads up the biggest franchise the world has ever seen. Without him, the MCU would not be what it is. It probably wouldn't exist. That's monumental. And to see him win an Oscar, phenomenal, Rick. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Beautiful moment for them all. So it was good. Yeah, and there's a whole. I mean, you can have a look at the list there. There's a whole.
But we'll give shout out to Best Actress in a Supporting Role, which was Davine Joy Randolph for her role in The Holdovers, which I do want to see. But it was really lovely, her speech too. So I'm keen to see that. She was up against Emily Blunt, who's amazing. Danielle Brooks, of course, who's incredible. Danielle Brooks, you would know from Orange is the New Black, where she was first kind of. This one I loved, America Ferrera, up again for an Oscar. And I was rooting for her based upon she's a television star. She was Ugly Betty. She was in
awesome.
Superstore, and she was awesome as well. So I was really rooting for her, and of course the wonderful Jodie Foster as well. But there you go. And yes, you can go through the list. You can find the list anywhere, but we got this from the Hollywood Reporter. So well done, Oscars this year. Actually get a thumbs up. It worked out well in the end.
It did. No controversy, no slaps, no nothing. It was great.
No. They got it sorted.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Oscars and directors, our next story, Jace.
Can I just say it's Spielberg related, what's related to, and how good were his cutaways in the Oscars?
And the Oscars scene.
Brilliant.
There we go.
Good segue there, buddy. But
Steven Spielberg.
Yes. Did you even know there was a Ready Player 2?
No, I didn't even know this was happening.
There was a book written recently,
there you
Ready
go.
Player 2.
So we're talking about Steven Spielberg plans to produce, not direct, Ready Player 1 sequel, which I had no idea, Jace. You just said they did a book.
They did a book, and they are plans to do the sequel. I, myself, really enjoyed Ready Player 1 a lot. It was a really fun, and it was great to see all the franchises meld together and a lot of fourth wall breaking in that sense. But I like the film quite a lot, so I would be interested in seeing the sequel. So right now they said the project is in discovery phase, and they're just trying to figure out what's next for the High Cop sci-fi sequel. He kept pretty close in the first movie to the book, generally. Obviously there's some changes. I'm interested to see what they're kind of gonna do. Now the issue with this, I think, Rick, is how much will this cost? Like last time, he had an open check.
Big budget.
Big budget movie. And does the movie have enough legs to warrant financial success for the sequel? Because I think not. As much as I liked the film, I think it did well. It made nearly 580 million in the first one.
What was do we know the budget? What it was?
No. I think it was easy 250. So it did okay. It didn't knock it out. Not $1 billion movie by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't know. I want to see the film, but I think what you're going to see is a film that is probably not as grand in scale, just because can you afford to spend that kind of money anymore?
Oh, well, you got to get bang for your buck. So
you got to get bang for your buck, and we know the new Hollywood now is like, we're just not dumping money at things anymore. We're going to be conservative going forward. So the movies like this, do they have a place in the new financially conservative Hollywood? We'll find out, Rick.
We'll find out. All right. Let's move on to the next story. This one, Jace. This has been going on for a while now. Gina Carano talks Disney response to a lawsuit and only wants her name to be cleared. So the former MMA fighter opens up about trying to find her peace after dealing with Disney and shares a side of her story. So in a bit of content. She made some comments. I think she was accused of being homophobic and transphobic, I believe, if that's
and racist. The racial thing was probably more the
side of it. Yeah. So where are we at with this, guys?
Well, Rick, let's go back. What a shock it was when we found out the news that she'd been fired. I mean, you know, they were developing a show around her called Rangers of the Republic. Like, her and Jon Favreau had that discussion. Now, Gina's kind of been out there in the public recently talking about this lawsuit. This ginormous... I mean, you talk about David and Goliath, you're going against one of the biggest corporations on the planet here in a lawsuit. And the lawsuit, dude, is funded by Elon Musk.
Yeah, well,
his team of lawyers looked into the case. They contacted him and said, Elon's going to pay for this.
Crazy.
So it is nuts, which means this becomes a whole lot bigger. The reason Elon, I think, is doing it is because what the case represents more so the individual case.
Freedom of speech, more so.
All that kind of political turmoil that they're experiencing over there in the good old US at the moment. So this is interesting. I mean, she had a couple of comments to make, Rick. One of them was, where are we? Me and Pedro. She was talking about her relationship with her co-stars, and including the recent passing of Carl Weathers. She goes, "Me and Pedro were so close. He knows 1,000% I'm not homophobic or transphobic. He texted me after Carl Weathers passed away. We had our conversation. It was beautiful. One thing he did say was, 'Thank you. You and Carl Weathers has always been protectors.' And he knows what that means. I know what that means. And I wish I could tell why. We basically left it at that. I can't wait to give you a big hug." So for her, she goes, "I know this may sound odd, but I'm not thinking about whether the number, if they try to settle with her, a financial. She's not thinking about the money. I'm thinking about clearing my name. I'm thinking about finally being healthy and having this monkey off my back and telling my story and just getting on with my life finally." Now, Rick, in a way, this connects to the original first story we did, where as a corporation, what are your rights in regards to how people conduct themselves in their private lives? You have a writer who comes from Disney as well. The rumor is that he has OnlyFans account, and that could be possibly the reason why he got fired. Therefore, they've made a moral choice. In here, they fired her based on what they perceive a moral choice. So I think that's what makes this case is interesting, because when it does go to court, and how it plays out. And if I was Disney, I'd be throwing everything I could at her to get a settlement and bury this.
So where does it go from here, though?
Well,
so Gina,
she's never going to work.
No, after if she's cleared and whatever,
she'll never work for Disney. Well, you never say never, but
never.
You know, her phone stopped calling anyway. As soon as she was fired from Disney, she was let go by people.
Yeah,
other people stopped talking to her. She couldn't get a job, and you know she was firing on all cylinders. This girl, she was in one of the biggest shows in the world at the time.
Yeah.
You know, she had movie offers, she was developing it, and all that just went away. So I don't pick a side here. I don't know if she's right, whether Disney's wrong, but hell, what a fascinating court case this could be if it actually goes to court.
Yeah. Well, if it's got Elon Musk in it, I'm sure it will. He's got some deep pockets, so...
Ooh-wee, does he what?
Some good, I think. Jace, just before we get into the train wreck of the week, I just want to remind the guys, if you want to hit that like and subscribe button and follow us across all our social media platforms, we really, really appreciate it, guys. All the links and everything are down below, guys. And if you like audio podcasts, you can hear us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and we're all good podcasts to found, guys. So we appreciate that.
All right, fantastic. All righty, Ricky, let's get into it.
It's a train wreck of the week. Jace, who's making a train wreck, mate?
This is not just a train wreck. This is like multiple trains all happening at once. Why? Because this is the bed Hollywood has made. And look what's happening now, Rick.
Here we go.
2/3 of U.S. adults would rather wait to watch movies on streaming. They don't want to go to the cinema anymore, Rick. People don't want to go to the movies. And who's responsible for that? Hollywood itself. This is a snake that has eaten its own tail here. And now the reality is, and I'm one of them, Rick. You know, I mean, some films, I love the movie-going experience. I always go to the movies. But films that I may have gone and seen in the past that weren't the big ones, I may have seen at the cinema. Now I don't.
No.
Now I don't. You probably could have got me to go and see Roadhouse at the cinema. But I don't have to, because I can watch it in a few days on Amazon Prime.
In the comfort of your own home.
And comfort of my own home.
That's it.
So it's a really fascinating world we're living in. So it's a new poll by Harris X, exclusive to IndieWire, found that 34% of adults prefer to watch movies in theaters, which means a solid 2/3 would rather wait for them to release on streaming. The competition continues to grow between the streaming services and the cinema, mate. Like, this is not good.
No, it's not good.
This is not good for the industry, because I do think what's going to happen is we are going to see all the small theaters disappear. We are just going to see theaters then run by multi-conglomerate, movies showing like AMC and Regal theaters in the US, or Hoyts here in Australia, or Greater Union, where they'll just dominate and it'll get more expensive. So everybody loses. We will pay for it for the prices of the tickets and the prices of confectionery. That's what
they're expensive as it is. Jeez.
And they're expensive as it is. So as much as I am one of those people who prefer to probably watch it at home, though I still go to the big movies.
Yeah, we
more and more, your average person, dude, you work 40 hours a week, right? Probably you and your partner work 40 hours a week. You've got a couple of kids. You're barely getting by in this economy. Do you really can afford to pay $100, $150 for a family of 4 outing at the cinema when you could sit at home with your $12 a month streaming service and watch it in your home 12 weeks after release? And this is the biggest problem they've created. Like, how do you counter that now? How do you counter that? It's too expensive. It's too expensive for one.
What's attracting anyone to go to the movies? There's no reason behind it. There's nothing exciting.
And the last 10 years and 15 years, Rick, they've been able to live via the franchises. The franchises have made billions of dollars and all that. But now, as we're starting to see, people are not super in love with the franchises. And as you just said, they're cutting back. So where does that leave it? Like, this is not going to get any better anytime soon, dude. This is not.
Yeah. I mean,
so
it's a tough one, and like you said, we go to the movies and we enjoy it, but there are times when you're like, you know what? If it's coming out 12 weeks after, why wouldn't you? You just sit at home. You've got your comfort of your own home. You can do what you want. You haven't got distractions with other people in the cinema. But there's still that other side where people enjoy having that experience. And I think this is what's getting taken away from everyone.
Yeah.
Having that experience, sitting in a room, the lights go down, and
having that shared experience with a group of strangers, basically. But it's true though, and it's something I hold dear. But I totally understand why the mass populace is thinking another way. Dude, I still pine for video shops. Because I considered that an experience on a Friday or a Saturday night with your friends or your family. Hightail up the video shop, grab a couple of new releases, maybe get some weekly films for the kids. It was an experience on our own, but we don't. We are all the thing is with tech, it keeps us home. That's the idea, to keep us home and stagnant as much as possible. So it's disappointing, but that's the way of the world. That's why, my friend, that was Train Wreck of the Week.
Awesome. Good train wreck of the week, Jace. Well, Jace, that's about sums it all up for us. We've had another great show, some great stories there that we've covered. Guys, if you want to check more of us out, you can check us out here at the channel. And Jace, where can everyone catch you as well? I know you're in a few other little places.
Yeah, you really can check me out at the moment over at TikTok at VHS Jace, putting a lot of content up there. Got a really good growing audience there. Thank you everyone for following. You can also find me over Captain's Quadrant, YouTube that's a fun show. And of course, I'm over on a couple of shows on the Jason Roy Gaston channel, Rick, but most importantly,
Wonderful.
I am here every week on Pop Culture Spread.
Awesome. All those links are down below like we discussed. Jace, thank you so much for today's show. Appreciate it, buddy. And we'll catch everyone next week. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching. If you could do us a massive favor and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Also, come and check out us on all our social media accounts and keep up to date. And if you're looking for some clothing, you're needing some merch, we've got you covered at the Pop Culture Spread store.